What's the first thing that one does, regardless of what
Straight spine.
you're doing?
Straight spine.
Yeah, but that's not what you do. That's what you get. What do you do? I'm talking to the students who attended the class.
Grounding.
Grounding. Thus, in order to give a talk to, here I am, I ground myself so that, now remember that, my buttocks speak. My contact with the center of the buttocks speaks. And please, a talk, if it is a repetition of what you already thought of, what you prepared is not spontaneous. Correct? From the buttocks comes freedom of speech. That also, please, are you understanding? Didn't we say that today, or rather the subject matter today, is how are body and mind connected? Now, who is going to give the talk? My buttocks can't talk. My mind can. What do I do for preparation? I'm in my body and in my buttocks. And I'm going to, I said, that's what's going to talk. Are you with me? A connection between what I'm doing here and the mind. Yes. What do you gain from this sitting? One can talk. That's all what you said. My breath, I'm straight. Correct? For both the speaker and for the listener, it's important to be grounded. Then you don't waver. You don't move here and there and here and there. Please, and regardless of whether you are trying to concentrate, in the background, the mind is still at play. How is the mind at play? You listen, you judge. You listen, you judge. Judging is the mind. Listening, cognition, no judgment. That is the art of listening. Are you able to see this? Yeah. Any words of wisdom, they have a foundation. Where do they flow from? Words of wisdom always flow from silence. Anything else is being smart, is being intelligent, is being a good orator. There are studies about body and mind relationship. Lots. There is books on what is the effect of disease and what is its mental state. All this is well known. The word psychosomatic, you must have already heard millions of times. But what does it mean? Does it mean that only does it only mean disease? A mind which has gone haywire? Or is it a phenomena that I live in on a daily basis, on a basis every moment? So, that the two are connected, there is no doubt. But let's see some basic states of mind and check out what the body looks like. But let's do one thing. Before we do that, because all manifestation, I repeat, all manifestation of mind is through thoughts. Thoughts make or is what we call mind. All manifestation of thought is modeled through the breath. All manifestation. Why? The breath makes us move. The breath is what the body and mind are both dependent on. Dependent. The breath, when it's moving in a certain manner, visiting certain parts of the body, omitting others, equals a certain type of thought pattern. Those who've been to a mental hospital and who have looked and checked what a depressive looks like, the posture is collapse of the thoracic area. Thus, there is only abdominal breathing. It's really easy to detect. That's science. You can detect it. Now ours, yoga, is the science of understanding how mind works. And through that understanding, destroy it. Destroy it. If we don't understand, we can't destroy it. And the techniques that are recommended for the destruction of the mind is twofold: asana, pranayama. The yogis understood long back about breath. Now, therefore, I was saying, can we all make an experiment? Experiment. Everyone sit purposely like this. Now, try hard to breathe in.
It's really blocked.
Hmm?
It's really blocked out.
Does everyone notice that the chest is unavailable? There is no breath coming in there. Yes? Here it's moving and that also it's tensed. You're not doing it properly. Now, let's do the opposite. So, roll your shoulders as far back as you can. Where's the breath moving?
And also out in the out way.
It's up here. I should inform you that depression can be cured in 1 week. Only 1 week. It's simple to turn the table when one knows exactly what one is doing. And we've done it. It's not theory. Now that's hard to believe, right? Without any pills. This is what we do. We bring the breath up here. Then the person starts to think differently. Next day, so then they do the practice. The next day they come back, they've gone back to this. It's a habit. Again. And within 1 month, the person actually learns, oh, let me be like this. How do they learn? Repetition of this opening. A person who has a big ego, have you noticed their posture? You can see that also very easily. Anyone observed?
Open chest.
Overextension.
Over. Extended thorax. Over open, because that's the posture here. When I breathe here, I'm full of myself. Does posture affect mind? Is there any doubt? Like this, the study of, because yoga is about mind, don't forget. The sutras of Patanjali, right in the beginning of the sutras, it's clear. What is yoga? It's the destruction of mental process. Wavering mind, destroying that. So that I don't waver, that I'm able to keep my subject. I rely on my foundation. That foundation wonderfully keeps me straight. Through that straightness, thoughts come. So that what is said is not coming from mind, it's coming from a place of balance. Any thought, I repeat, any thought is imbalanced. In its very nature, it's imbalanced. Why? It's never about now. A thought is always about past or of the future. It's imbalanced. It's not present now. People walking on the beach, you have ample opportunity to look this evening itself. There are those who are in a hurry. How are they? Leaning forward. And like this they'll walk. Head first, feet following. Someone who is not in a hurry, the opposite. Feet go first, the head follows. What a clear picture it gives you on the state of mind that is walking. Aren't we all states of mind walking around? All it needs is observation. like this, every part of the body, every part of the body has been detected to have an impact on the mind. When the mind is involved constantly with a certain state, it starts to affect the organs. One person who did a lot of research on this is Louise Hay. You may have heard about her. And she got great success in dealing with the mind. However, she did not discover about the breath. Her principle was, if mind is flowing this way, you make a thought process that takes you the other way to erase it. Thus, she said, keep saying this to yourself, and make that therefore more powerful than what your normal state is this way. There are many other books. One French book which says, dis-moi ce que tu as et je te dirai pourquoi.
And the name book?
Tell me what your problem is, and I will tell you why. Whole book on that, and several other books. It's a science, one can study it. How our body is affected has been studied, because there are people who tried everything and it didn't work. Louise Hay was such an example. She tried everything, but her cancer wasn't going. So she resorted to another way and found this, and cancer of course gone. She lived decades to serve people to resolve their problems in this manner with great success. Going back, because talking theoretical is theory. Yoga practitioners are practical. How do I apply myself to clean, to eradicate, to overcome the states of mind that I realize not everyone does, that I realize I suffer from? How do I go about it? That's practical. Answer. by the regulation of the breath. When I regulate the breath, so it's moving harmoniously everywhere, then I have balance. Then it's possible to destroy that mental state which troubles me. Now, we said, what kind of trouble? Being egotistical is a big trouble. Being depressed is also a big trouble. We took these two examples. It's trouble. It's trouble for everyone. It's trouble for me. By the regulation of the breath. Now, then we said that the organs suffer from a mental state. How? How do they suffer? Thoughts bring tightness and tensions. Any place in the body, be it organ, muscle, joint, even joint, is because of a mind stimulus which is creating contractions. This the yogi studies. I realize, let's say, through a process, I realize, through research, I realize, because nowadays you just need to pick up your phone, make Google, and you do get a lot of information. It's all in there. If you have a liver problem, look what is mental state, you'll find it. What can I do to release the tensions from a place that I realize is tensed? Firstly, I'm saying that the yoga practitioner realizes that from being in the body. How? From being in the body in harmony. When I am in the posture in my daily life, I am in my body. Please, this is important. In harmony. Then I notice the unharmonious. I notice where it's free and where it's not. But I have to be harmonious to notice the unharmony. It's actually that simple. But say, I am not in harmony, and I read that I'll take a banal example. When I spend my time in anger, my liver gets bashed. Do you know that? So here I am. Now I did some research, or someone told me, oh, your liver is because you're angry. Let's say. Can I stop being angry? It doesn't. I have patterns. Look, please, okay? Anger does not mean someone who is all the time making conflicts with others because of their anger. No, it doesn't mean that. Anger within, anger towards myself, anger towards my partner, even though I cannot say it. Anger. So I learned that it's because of anger, but I cannot deal with the anger, perhaps to a certain extent. But it's deep within, it's part of my consciousness. I don't realize that it's there. I cannot detect it. Very simple. I start to look within. I know through anatomy that my liver is there. I detect where is it tense, because it goes together. Any disease, any problem has its impact on the body. I look here and release tightness, release tension, release tightness. Of course, there are postures which will take me more there. I use my breath. I ease that area. I allow my breath to percolate there where it's hard. What science is that? The science of breathing. I go inside and first go inside and detect. Otherwise, it's intellectual. I actually detect it. And having detected it, I ease it. I work on moving the breath there. What does that part feel? Restriction. It's not allowing any breath anywhere near it. It's a hole, or rather, it's a hardness there. So, the muscles block the breath in that area. Very simple. But I have to have that much awareness, penetrating awareness, that I can deal with my tensions, penetrating. Many different postures, all dealing with tension, with that tension. This actually was the research of our teacher, B.K.S. Iyengar. This is how he found and made lists from his body from his body, he found which postures sought out which area. That is his greatness. If he couldn't find out, he inflicted that upon himself to find out how to get rid of it. There is, his story is that of great sacrifice. Now, what do I notice? I'm sitting on the front part of my batik bone. Am I in the center? No. When we look at the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there is an order. Of practice, an order. And it starts from having certain qualities in order to practice. What did we say? The alignment of breath, that is it. That is actually it. The prerequisites are dealing already with our crooked mental states. They are called yamas. Crooked mental states are bound to bring disease. That's their very nature. We won't go into that. Basically, it's being non-violent, saying the truth, satya, asteya, not stealing from others, not holding, and living a life which takes you to freedom. Thus you already stop the inflow of badly motivated thoughts and actions. The next step, regulated life and certain things to be done on a daily basis. That's why it's called niyama. Niyam is a habitual activity. When the second one is a way to dissolve the first one. Nothing else. With these two, you do asana practice. Asana practice helps you to be within the body, to use the body as a way of focus. so that you're able to regulate the breath. And when the breath is moving harmoniously, and you've learned about being within, only then you go on to a higher practice called pranayama. This is all, most people know about this. It's all very clear. It's clear indeed. For anyone who spends their time within, that the moment I get angry, the moment I feel passionate, the moment I'm jealous, my pattern of breath changes. Everyone who is, even people who don't practice yoga notice this. So when I regulate my breath, so it's flowing everywhere, I take off all the blockages that are in the breath. I start to heal myself on a deep, deep level. Then, only healed like this, it becomes worthwhile to meditate. This is the yoga path. Only when I have learnt about myself, then I undertake meditation. When I have learned how to, what is it about? Be aligned in my mind and in my body, aligned. Then I can go further. I sit in meditation, but what's happening? Same thought process. I try. 1 minute, 2 minutes, again I'm gone in my process. Can yoga? Let's recapitulate. That there is a connection between body and mind is not in doubt. That yoga practice helps to gain freedom from unwholesome thoughts, so that we are able to live in harmony. Why is that so important, to be able to live in harmony? Because when I don't, I create more unwholesome actions. A unwholesome action my relationship with the world, my relationship with someone, unwholesome relationship is a bond that influences me. That's the law of nature. it cannot be changed. It's a law of nature. My unwholesomeness and my relationship in that unwholesomeness creates unwholesome relationships. That unwholesome relationship keeps me till I sort that out within me. Who dealt with this? Freud dealt a lot with this. And psychology, it explains to us what this process is. I have a wrong relationship with my father or mother. It's there for the life, isn't it? Have you not seen it? That's what we are talking about. Unwholesome relationship with our closest ones. For that, I must change. And I must start, at least now, to be wholesome.